Good evening everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today is gonna be a bit of a different video than usual. Today I'm gonna talk to you and tell you a bit about uh, a Dutch kind of holiday tradition, something from the Netherlands. So today, March 1st, is something called the transferring of the key, of the city key, which is something that is significant to this holiday called Carnaval. So Carnaval in different countries can mean different things. Here in the Netherlands, it's basically, how do I really put it? It's a bit of a combination of a Halloween kind of thing as well as a beer fest kind of thing. The reason why I say this is because it's basically 3 days drinking of beer and stuff like that. Just basically 3 days of alcohol. Um, that's basically what that is, at least for the adults. For the children, it's mostly just um, changing into fun clothes, uh, you know, either being a pirate or a little witch or whatever, just like Halloween, you dress up, right? And the adults do as well, sometimes, not always, but most of them do, at least here in Maastricht. And so during the day, it's basically all for kids, and during the day, there's all these places where you can go, where you can just have fun. It's loud music, it's very Dutch music. Most of the time, I haven't been in a long time because I cannot stand the music. Again, it's Dutch. And if you're following my channel for a while, you probably know by now I have issues with being Dutch. I have issues with the Netherlands, I have issues with all of that. So the music for me is absolutely horrendous. Again, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to insult anybody. If you're insulted or whatever, I'm really sorry about that. It's not my intention. I just really don't like this holiday. Personally, I don't like anything about the Netherlands, but it is still interesting. Not particularly to take part in it for me, especially with the alcohol stuff, but yeah. So during the 3 days, there's a lot of drinking going on, which also means a lot of bar fights, a lot of trouble, a lot of issues, and well, even though a lot of people call it fun, I mean, it all depends on what you call fun, right? But yeah, so get parties, adult parties, it's a lot. All of the cafes and everywhere you can buy beer is basically completely full with people. It's full of loud music, it's drunk people everywhere, and yeah. There's also a lot of confetti going on and a lot of stuff and littering. I mean, the cleanup after is horrendous. But for the kids, it can be absolutely fun. I remember when I was a child, it was quite fun for me as well for a little while. Mainly because at that point I still had friends to go with as well. But that all kind of changed, I guess. I mean, as a kid, you don't see the alcohol part at all because that's usually in the evenings, the going out stuff and whatever. But yeah, it's for the kids. It's like, I don't know. I believe I was a Native American at some point. I had these Native American clothes with this fake axe, and yeah, so that was kind of funny. And yeah, as a kid, there's obviously kid music instead of the normal music, and you have a lot of things that are available to you. Not exactly toys, but you know, like silly strings, like spray cans with silly strings, and things like, uh, you know, hairpin is usually used a lot, like hair cans of hairspray with colors in them. It's usually used a lot. Um, what else? It's confetti, it's glitter, it's all of that. That's basically going on and happening and whatnot. So it's kind of a big thing. And on the first day, or yeah, kind of on the first day is what we call the transferring of the city key, or in Dutch, de overdracht van de sleutel. This means it's basically the opening of Carnaval, where the city key is handed to the prince and princesses of Carnival, which is basically kids. There are kids that are being called out as prince or princesses. There's something of a voting going on. I'm not 100% sure. That it's been a long time, and I wanted to Google it, but I forgot. But they're just people from the community that come together, and they choose somebody to be the prince and somebody to be the princess, and it's usually kids. Yeah, think below the age of 14 or something like that. And so there is a lot of things, but also during Carnival there is this really big parade. I don't know if this is everywhere in every city. I don't think every city has Carnival in the Netherlands, but especially here in Limburg, we do. But I don't know higher up. I don't know if it's even being celebrated there. But there's this really big parade with this really big kind of wagons, parade wagons, right? Like they look really, really weird. Like some of them just have a head. Some of them are looking insane and whatever. I don't know, it's been a long time, and you have the giant, I remember that, which is like higher than a 3-story building. Things like that come across, and I don't really know where they go. I know that they go straight through the city, and I believe they're going through some of the neighboring cities as well, because our cities are really close together, right? It's not like in America where you have like, here's a city, then 10 hours away you have a city, then a few days away you have a city. No, it's for us, the distance between cities is sometimes 20 minutes, maybe an hour. That's, yeah, it's not much. We have a lot of cities here, but it's all very packed together. So that's kind of interesting. I still cannot get it out of my head that the Netherlands actually fits into the state of New York, if you can believe that. Like, yeah, there's a lot of things that I found out about that was actually kind of really interesting to find out. So yeah, it's for the kids, it's a lot of candy as well, a lot of eating of candy, a lot of hyper kids going boom 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 boom. And yeah, I don't really remember much else. I don't really know too much else. I think this is what it mostly is. So yeah, it's basically something between Beer Fest and between Halloween, right? Again, the same things mostly apply. It's all dressing up, it's all candy for the kids, it's all drinking for the adults, and dressing up as well. So yeah, it's a very big combination of those two. And I've never actually witnessed a real beer fest before, because beer fest itself I don't think is actually being celebrated in the Netherlands. I know that it's being celebrated in Austria, I believe. And I think Germany does as well, and I'm pretty close to the border, so if I'd ever want to witness that, I suppose I could go, but I'm somebody against alcohol, so does that. I've also been asked in the past why I'm so against alcohol. I have been asked this in emails, and I know this question might come up because of this video, so I'm gonna answer this before you send me an email. Um, Basically, I hate alcohol because my mother was an alcoholic when I was a child. She's schizophrenic. She was a very heavy alcohol user, and lately I've got her multiple times drinking again. So this has made me very uncomfortable, as you can imagine. My dad also kind of drinks a lot. I don't really speak about him too much because he's under a lot of stress. I'm under a lot of stress, and well, it helps him sleep. So, I mean, he doesn't do it during the day, unlike my mother. I caught her last week. It wasn't even 2 p.m. and she was already drunk. My dad doesn't do that. My dad only starts drinking after 7, and you don't really notice him being drunk. Like, if he drinks too much, you don't notice it at all. At most, he will just start to talk a bit much, and you're like, okay, please, shut up. I get it. You want to talk. I don't want to talk. I want to listen to music. You get it. But he gets very deep into conversations when he's drunk, and he starts getting very philosophical, and yeah, it's usually very deep conversations that can last for hours if you let him. So I try to not engage with him when he's drunk because he just talks so much at that point. But yeah, that's one of the reasons why I hate alcohol. It's not because I've used alcohol in the past. It's not because I'm an ex-addict or whatever. It's just because I have very bad experience to other people. But also, I don't see the need for alcohol. I do not understand why people seek the comfort of alcohol over other things. I mean, recently I had a conversation with Alan about this, and he told me it's to distort reality. Well, I distort reality as well, but I do it with the maladaptive dreaming that I do. And when I don't do that, it's just listening to music, it's just being comfortable. I don't see why people have the need for alcohol. I do not understand that. I never have. It's the same with drugs. Like, it's addictive. People know it's addictive. It is harmful. People know it's harmful. But they still try it, use it, and get addicted. It blows my mind as to how that happens, why that happens, and I get that it may seem seductive, I guess, for the lack of a better term. If you're under a lot of pressure or stress, but why would you grab that if there are different things? I mean, it blows my mind. Like, why? I mean, if you enjoy a glass or whatever every now and then, sure. And there's traffic coming by. That always makes me uncomfortable. But yeah. So yeah, I don't really understand it, the need for alcohol or to have national holidays about them. But anyway, I know that people like to hear about the Netherlands, so I'm sorry, I'm having issues with my throat. I know that people like hearing about the Netherlands and some of the traditions and stuff like that, so I figured this might be a good video to make, especially since Carnival just started. I'm sorry, I think I'm getting a cold or something. My voice is cracking up, my nose keeps running. Yeah, I'm definitely getting a cold. But anyway, so this will also mean that I'm probably gonna be offline for a couple of days. I mean, obviously, I never actually um, post on Sundays anyway, but it can take up until Tuesday for me to come back because I do have some plans. Even though I don't really go into the city or stuff like that, I do have a couple of new friends that I connected with a couple of days ago that um, that I want to hang out with. So yeah, sorry, I'm getting a little bit confused. I'm really starting to get sick now for some reason. But anyway, I'm gonna leave this video at this because I'm really confused as to how I'm just getting sick right now. Yeah, awkward. Have a good night. I love you all, and I wish you all a very great few days. And yeah, let me know how your few days are going or how it's been. You know, I like to hear. Anyways, have a good night. I love you.